I was spoiled on this. And Buck Nasty, this is probably where you're going to leave the stream, buddy. But I was spoiled on this, and I've been waiting all day to watch this with chat. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen bits and pieces. And when we're done, we're going to look at it again, but in a higher res. That's Jin Kazuma. That's not Heihachi. Wow, look at that. Fight. Look at that. Tekken 8. Oh my god. Look at that camera work. Ooh. Ooh, Street Fighter 6? Fucking Luke? Oh. Wow. No, I am certain this is going to be this is a story mode thing. I'm certain of it. I'm 100% certain this is a story mode thing. Ooh. A couple electrics into a screw into Hell Sweep. Yeah, why not? This music is kind of whack. That looks really good. We need to get a higher quality version. Oh shit, it's the anime. The anime is out. Oh no. Ooh. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. Oh, that was super fucking tight. I hate the anime. I hate the anime. Let's not talk about this too much because I want to look at the rest of the stuff before we get into this. I hate the anime stuff. I really wish it wasn't here, but obviously, like you guys had explained a long time ago, there's too much anime. There's just so much anime, and it's the lore, it's all built off of anime. It takes me out. It totally takes me out. But I loved everything else about what we saw. The camera work and everything. Granted, I think I'm reasonably certain this is a story mode thing, so if you guys remember story mode from Tekken 7, they did a lot of that, where they did like unique clips and animations played out and stuff, but it seems like they're doubling down in this one. So, but maybe some of it will be for normal gameplay, you never know. But anyways, we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about this. Let's continue on with the other stuff, because I'm sure there's other games here that, you know, might be reasonably interesting.
It's official. Tekken 8 is coming to the PlayStation 5 console, courtesy of our battle-hardened friends 8. At Bandai Namco Entertainment. It's
about fucking time. Okay, here we go. We got a 1440Z. No, I want 4K high resolution. Do you guys do yourself a favor? Do you guys yourself a favor and look at this on your own in 4K? Because I have a feeling it's going to look fucking tight as shit. Thank God they showed Tekken first. I can't believe they fucking opened the floodgates with that shit, man. They're just like, bagoosh, here's Tekken 8. I didn't even know. I saw the helmet. I was like, what the fuck? Dude, this looks great. Holy fuck, this looks good. Hate that anime shit though. Fight. Okay. Let's do a little tinkering here. Let's take a look at here. So obviously, oh god, I need my keyboard to work. Very obviously, please work. Okay, fight. It's not really working. Now it's working. So clearly. So right off the bat, I think this is story mode, okay? In Tekken 7, they had a story mode, and they used a lot of interesting animations and a lot of interesting camera angles and stuff like that, slowdowns and things. There's that really famous scene where, like, Akuma does his Hadouken, and Heihachi walks past it, but the camera does, like, a full 360, right? So this is definitely taken from the story mode of the game. That's why we're seeing a lot of weird cutting in and out. but I think some of this might actually be real stuff that we might see in a real match. And I want to say that because of this part right here. Oh my god, my keyboard's not working. Fight. So you saw that exchange right there? Like, that looks like real in-game combat. That looks like two people pressing buttons. But then... Now, that was sick. But, is that going to happen in a normal match? I'm not sure. Maybe there's going to be a cool slowdown effect that happens in a real match if you, like, what is that, low crush? So that could be something. 4-4-3 no longer leaves crouching on block. 4-4-3. Is that what he did? Hang on. Did he do a 4-4? You're right. That's 4-4-3. Look, it actually pulls him backwards. He actually steps back. Hang on. I gotta, like, fucking work my keyboard. Somehow. It was working just fine. And now all of a sudden my fucking... It's a pain in the ass. Don't ever go with wireless. Don't ever do wireless. Look at this shit. Man, that's so sick, though. Now, that rollback, though, I don't think that rollback would be a thing, though. That way that he got crushed backwards, it looks so good. It looks so fucking good. Possible new crush method. I wonder. Was that his parry? Hang on, I want to go back. Was that just a block, or does Jin have a parry? Can Jin parry stuff? Because that looked kind of weird for a block. This is really cool, but again, like, I don't think this is something that will actually happen in a normal match. This is probably story mode. Looks like a block. He can parry, but that one looked like a block. Okay. This is cool, but I'm pretty sure this is just showing off because he's like punching the rain. I think either this is cinematic for this piece or for the story. I don't think this is going to be part of a real match. Why would you do that? Unless it's to help you like whiff punish or something. But I wouldn't think so. Yeah, the way that it kind of like snaps back into the gameplay, it looks edited. You even see Kazuya. Look at Kazuya. You see that he leaned back. He doesn't have a move that does that, so I think that's just cinematic. Just like Luke buffing up his arm there. It's so good, dude. Can't believe how early we see any sort of in-game footage. It's crazy. Now that's a full combo right there. And that's just a hell sweep, except that looks different. Hang on. So what is this? This is some kind of... It's a trade. It's a trade, but Kazuya doesn't look like it was a trade, actually, does it? Kazuya doesn't look like he was recoiled at all. So he just got a crumple, and he just goes into an electric, and it looks like he got a screw. Is this a screw? Or is it a bind? What did they used to call this a bind, but I think they just call it screw now, right? That's just electric hook and causes while standing 2. This is the hell sweep, for sure. Yeah, but all this is definitely story, for sure. Corkscrew. So I guess corkscrews are back. That's good. Now this is extremely clearly a rage art. This is 100% a rage art. He's glowing red. He looks way red. So this is 110% a rage art. So they're bringing rage arts back. I knew for sure. I think we could all agree that rage arts were going to come back. There's just no way it wasn't going to. Kaz beat Jin because that W2 crumples on hit. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Like, I hate you guys made this argument a long time ago. Like, I think Tekken looks like a video game, but you guys think it looks like an anime. And to me, it pisses me off to hear that, because it used to look like a video game to me, but now, ever since 7, they do all this anime shit, right? With all these lightning effects, the fucking demon wing and stuff. Like, the lore is 110% anime, but the visuals of the game always looked more video game to me. Grounded and not so crazy over the top with a bunch of, like, you know, lights and shit flashing everywhere. It never felt that way to me. But this, the weeb shit has crept in from the lore and has now invaded the visuals of the game. So the aesthetic of being kind of like a martial arts fight is taking an even further back seat to, like, this anime stuff. I don't really care for that at all. I don't like it. That's a great use of that is a great reveal. That is such an amazingly good reveal. That is so much better than fucking Street Fighter 6. But here's the thing. Let's give credit where credit is due. Street Fighter 6 came out with a real kind of trailer. Let's go find it. Because remember that we had, hang on a second. I'm gonna actually do it over here. We had a different kind of reveal when it came to that shit, right? Let's see if I can find it again. I think I had didn't I have like a short or something? I think I had a short. Tekken 8 hype. Yeah, here we go. Let me grab this really quick, because we don't need the whole fucking video. So I want to grab this really quick. Copy. Paste. This is my own video. Look at me using my own videos. Isn't that tight? So we have this, right? That's the intro, but we also need Street Fighter 6 reveal. Let's do like that. Reveal. Teaser trailer. Here it is. So look at this, right? We had this shit. This is what Street Fighter 6 revealed, right? This was the very first thing we saw about Street Fighter 6. And so we were like, what the hell's going on? What is this bullshit? Ryu's too thick and sweaty. Luke looks like the fucking Joker or something. What's up with that? And then they reveal the fucking infamous, right? The infamous fucking NSF or whatever it is. The fucking crypto Bitcoin style icon, right? Now, at least we got to see what the game looks like. We get to see in-game character assets. We get to see what the models look like. We actually get to see the art direction. So even though this is only like a 39-minute clip, you still get to see what people look like. We get an idea. Super wide Ryu, Popeye arm Luke. Like, yeah, okay. Not much info, but it's at least like we can see where the visuals of the game are going. And then this shit. Tekken 8. There goes our hopes and dreams. There you go. Tekken 8. Down the cliff. Oh! That's all we get. This is all we get for Tekken 8's reveal. We didn't even know this was fucking Tekken 8. We didn't even know. We had no idea. Everybody was like, is that Tekken 8? Like, look what happens with these motherfuckers afterwards, right?
Get ready.
That was it? That's not him. What the hell? What is Steve doing to Markman? They don't even know. These guys are so confused. They don't even have an idea. They stand around in the most confused fashion because they don't even know if it's Tekken 8. They don't want to confirm it's Tekken 8. If it's not Tekken 8, they were going to get in trouble. This is what we got for a reveal for Tekken 8. That's it. That's what we got. So if you compare like reveals, right? This compared to this. Like, who won? Who did better? Who did the reveal better, right? Admittedly, this is not much of a reveal, right? But at least you could see the visuals, the game, where it's going. This was nothing. This was nothing. We didn't even know it was Tekken 8. We had no idea. We had no clue. They're so confused. I think Street Fighter 6, in terms of reveal, the initial reveal, I think in terms of the initial teaser reveal, let's do it that way. The teaser, because that's what they call it here. Teaser, trailer, yeah, teaser. So in terms of the teaser, the original first eyeballs on Project, Street Fighter 6 was better. Granted, you had this ugly looking fucking thing and everybody shat on it. Granted. But it's way better than what we saw with this fucking shit. Just that stupid ass smirk. Nobody even knew it was Tekken 8. Now, though, let's talk about now. Let's talk about now. Because this shit doesn't hold a candle to this shit that we just saw. Not even close. Not even close. This is tight. This is so good. Man. What is the equivalent? What did Street Fighter 6 do after that initial reveal? I think they didn't really do, I guess they did something that was more proper, but I don't really know what it was. I can't really remember. I probably have like a vid or some shit on it, but I'm not going to bother looking for it. But I think it's very clear at this point that the reveal, the teaser reveal, they fucked up. Tekken fucked up really bad. But in terms of like actually showing the game, like the actual reveal of the game, like they did a good job with that. This is a good job. Oh man. I love this camera work, like it's cool. I don't know about this back low stuff. It's probably story. And the entire roster was leaked. That's true. That's true. It was totally leaked. While rising too, while standing too. Yeah, none of that's gonna be it. So the thing that the kind of thing I want to parse. How likely are we going to get this shit, this slowdown? Okay, we're not gonna get that. That's not happening. That's got to be story. But like, let's take a look at after this. Here, is this something that's going to happen in the normal gameplay? If you do something like low crush, he went for a low. This guy went for, what is this? Up forward 3 or something? What move is this? Up forward 4? Are you gonna get a slowdown when you low crush? Are you gonna get a slowdown when you high crush? Like, this is kind of cool. I think I remember Eris saying that he spoke with Harada back when Tekken 7 first came out. And Harada had this idea of a slow motion camera for Tekken 7. And he was really, really excited about it. His face lit up and was like, oh yeah, that was my idea. Like, I think Eris told that story, maybe not even that long ago. I feel like he talked about it. I think that concept that Harada hit on in 7 with the slowdown is really, really good. I think it was extremely well received. Everybody loves it when you're about to hit the guy and he's going to die, but the other guy hits a button too, and you don't know whose attack is going to land. And then sometimes they both whiff, and so then you have that set up again on the next set of attacks. Yeah, that shit is really tight. I kind of feel like he might be trying to take that to another level. And so this might not be storyline only. This might actually be pretty good. I think this was the first reveal for Street 6. Which one is this one? Yeah, I agree. I think this is the one as well. Yeah, I think so. I mean, in terms of like, well, I don't know. This one seems a lot more comprehensive. This seems like a lot more of a comprehensive reveal trailer.
And have a real ending.
Because, you know, it shows a lot of game. The problem I'm having comparing these two things, this is showing so much more of the game, right? Here's a single player element, you know, and then it moves on to showing some of our favorite characters smile. And then it shows a little bit more of the intro.
Ready? Then show me.
It shows some actual combat, in-game fighting. Like this is. They call it an announcement trailer. Would you call this the announcement trailer? Because it's calling this as too. I mean, the amount of stuff that's in here is more than what we're getting here. But we're still getting enough that I think it's not that bad. But I feel like this one did a lot better than this one. In terms of what info we got. But this one's like way cooler looking. This one's like way cooler. Yeah, this one looks like so it is a PS4 game. In fact, I think at the end of this video, it said PS5, right? I mean, announcement is the official name of the game. Yeah, maybe, I mean, I don't know. Comparing trailer to trailer is kind of tough because I think they also, like, we need to appreciate the time frame. There was a really long gap between when we got this and when we got that initial sneak peek trailer. When we got that little 40-second clip of Luke and Ryu. So that was a long time. This isn't so long. We got a sneak peek of Kazuya at the end of that thing at Evo. That was only a few months ago, right? Or not even that. Like, that was pretty recent. And here we are getting this. And maybe it said stay tuned at the end, which means maybe there's going to be TGS. Maybe there'll be something at TGS now. You know? So it kind of feels like timeline-wise, Street Fighter took a lot longer to get us more info, where this one is showing us like a pretty in-development game, but without all that much information to it. Literally 1 month ago. Yeah, so this is way faster. We're getting more, we're getting less info, but we're getting it much quicker than how Street Fighter 6 did it. But I still think the initial sneak peek, Street Fighter 6 gave us a little bit more than what we got out of that little, that little smirk of Harada smirk. I'm just going to call it Harada smirk. Harada smirk, that's all we got. We didn't even know it was Tekken 8. Like, that's the wackest fucking shit ever. Super fucking whack, right? I'm just excited for the character reveals. You mean in Tekken 8? Have they revealed characters yet? I mean, do we have an idea or anything? Damn, it just looks so good. Yeah, you see that slowdown like there? Like, I kind of feel like they could do this. You know? Like, would it get annoying? Would you be annoyed? If you were playing the game and, this happened a lot, would you be annoyed if this kind of camera angle, every time you, like, go in for, like, a really cool move, like a really big hit that's going to get blocked, do you like that camera shift? Or would you just get sick of it after, like, the fourth time it happens? Or something like that. Like, if you get a camera on a big whiff, I mean, that would help you identify and whiff punish. But, like, that doesn't seem... That seems kind of unreasonable, right? I don't think they want to make it easier. This fallback here and recovery, there's no way that's going to be normal. There's no way. This is story mode stuff here for sure. Because it would be broken if you weren't allowed to, like... Normally, yeah, okay, you see what happens here? How he kind of hits the ground? I want to see if we can slow that ass up a bit. You see, like, how he's on the ground for a little bit? You see how he's, like, on the ground? To me, this looks like where he's going to stop. He's supposed to stop here. But then they just kind of do the story mode of continuing it for a bit. We will never know till we try it. You mean the character reveal? Nerd review. I'm digging this, man. This is exciting stuff. Dudes that love fighting games, like, we're getting hype. We all getting hype, man. We're eating well. Street Fighter 6 and Tekken? Tekken 8? I just don't see camera... I don't see any of that camera stuff being usable in a normal match. I feel like that would get really irritating after, like, a really short while. Yeah, a lot of this just looks like trailer work to me, or story mode work. But I think the slowdown stuff could be with very clear, not whiff punishing, but high crush. Yeah, high and low crushes like this. I think this could be very real. I think this could be a thing. I wouldn't mind it as long as it doesn't trigger like all the time. I think this would be fine because there's nothing really to gain from slowing down at this point. You have no control of your characters. There's no whiff punishing in this scenario. There's no advantage to be gained from slowing anything down here. You are committed to your action. Your action was beat by your opponent's action. All this serves is to look cool. And I think this is fine. This could look cool. And as long as it doesn't happen all the time, I would be down for it. It'll be cool, but who knows if it's good for gameplay. You're right. I mean, it could get tiring. You're right. Something like this, I feel like wouldn't be necessary. Doing a cut into just a block like this, I get that they're trying to show impact here, and that's fine for a story mode or a trailer, but for a normal gameplay, we don't need this. We don't need to see how sick fucking awesome it was that I blocked that shit, you know? We don't need to see it. It's cool for the low crush because you called out a move. You said, hey, this motherfucker's gonna go low. I'm gonna go high, you know? Make it look cool because I did a cool thing. I made a cool read or called out a cool thing. This is like, you held back. Like, Ninja just held back. Like, you know, that's not that cool. The screen really likes to shake. Yeah, see, the reason I wouldn't think that this would be normal for a normal match, you would gain something from this, right? You would be able to whiff punish way easier if the game slowed down whenever something like this happened. And I don't think you want to make whiff punishing easier in Tekken. Yeah, it is a lot of motion blur. Most likely story mode. I agree. Yeah, and this I would agree. This is like totally. Hopefully PC turns that shit off completely. I mean, usually you can. But this would be broken if you slowed down whiff punishing like a big move whiffs. Like it would be too rewarding for the person that is defending. You can see he does. You can kind of see he does a little sway back, and Kazuya doesn't have a sway back. Yeah, you can see he kind of pushes back there. So I'm pretty sure that's story. That would be story 2, of course. This is kind of interesting because is this the right? Nice pause. Is this the right animation? Because he has this move in 7, right? He does this move, and it causes like the opponent to float in the air for a bit, and then he does like a soccer kick. But this isn't quite the right thing, is it? Like usually it happens in the middle of a combo, right? Was he still in the air? It kind of looked like he stood back up for that. I'm not sure if this is the right move, is the problem. He has like I don't know if it's a counter hit or if it's like a normal move, but I think he does it at the end of his combos where he kicks you really high and then on the way down, he does like a soccer kick style attack, where he just kind of boots you and kicks you off to the side, and it's all one animation. I don't know if this is that move. It looks like it, but it also doesn't look like it. Especially because he's way out there. Like, he's way pushed back and he's floating like that. But it looks like he's winding up for, like, a soccer-style kick. But then he turns it into, like, a really strange high kick, and Kazuya looks like he's standing again, like he's not floating. It's Jin's Power Crush? Jin's Power Crush. I can't get over how good this looks, dude. 3 plus 4. I might have to do that next time I'm training. Yeah, you're right. He got new pants. I just noticed that. Yeah, this is definitely a rage art. The question is, I think we can confirm that as being rage art. I think we can say rage art is back. Do we think rage drives are back? Do you think Drave rides? Rage drives are back. Do we have? I wonder. I think personally I liked rage drives better than rage arts. I think the drive was more interesting. It felt like it was going to be more applicable to different situations. Whereas rage art is kind of like a weird comeback mechanic, sort of. Not really, but it feels like it plays out that way. Kazuya's spine doesn't break anymore for Hell Sweep. Yeah, right? It looks like he actually has a new full body spin on the Hell Sweep. Looks like Jin's rage art would switch sides then. Yeah, it looks like it would. It would be on the other side at this point. I don't know if I'm upset about rage arts coming back or not. I don't really. I feel like they're always a threat. So maybe in that sense, it's good that they're there because you can randomly rage art and get a win around. That still happens to even experienced players. So that's kind of a mind game level that I don't think is bad to have for Tekken. But I also wouldn't. I really wouldn't have mind seeing it leave in favor of more rage drives. I think rage drives were supposed to be something really cool. Like you're supposed to have multiple drives so that you can have multiple options with your red stuff on. You know, I think that would have been. I think it would have been cooler if there was no arts, but there was multiple drives. You like rage arts? I don't know. I mean, I could take or leave them. I was just more impressed with how drives worked in a mechanical sense. They were really quick and just kind of fun to punch out. Even though Lei had stance ones that didn't work all that great, it was cool that he had those options. So satisfying punishing scrubs who panic. I mean, that's... you can get that kind of enjoyment from anything, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much shit about rage arts, because I don't know. They didn't really bother me. I lost to them plenty, but I also won with them plenty. So it's kind of like, I can see why this is still a threat for people who are good. Because sometimes even in tournament level, you'd see people pop a rage art and get a win. The only ones I'd get rid of are safe arts, like Howrongs. Ooh, yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Or, I mean, unless you want to compensate them for being really low damage, but I wouldn't want to go that route. Oh, I have the perfect topic. Tulet, are you ready? I have the perfect topic. Not rollback. Although I do hope he does rollback. How do you feel with this game not being released in arcades? This is the first time Tekken will be released on console and not in arcades. I wonder how you feel about that. I personally am very happy because it means everybody gets to start on the same level finally. Finally. I think we're going to see better competition because of it. I feel very strongly Tekken 7 fucked up by being a few years in arcades before Fated Retribution was made and released in console. I like it, but I hope it releases in 2024. That's a long-ass wait, but I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing some Street Fighter 6 during that time. That'd be fine. Yeah, I'm really excited. I personally, I felt like Tekken 7 was really fucked up in the competitive scene because they had, quite a few years to play with it before anybody else did. And I don't feel anybody ever bridged the gap. Now, admittedly, that probably was going to happen anyways because there are some really godly players at Tekken, and Tekken is a legacy game. Still, I think there would have been a lot better tournaments, a lot more competition, a lot more interesting competition if the game had been released, universally into everybody's hands equally. And because we're talking about competition, it seems like a kind of a cheater's way of favoring a certain group of people. If you release it only in arcades, refine the process, and then drop it into consoles. Granted, there is an argument there. Tekken 7 was so well received because it had 2 fucking years of sitting in arcades being refined over and over. By the time Akuma came out and Fated Retribution was a thing, the game had really achieved a level of polish that just would not be possible unless it was released in a live environment. I know, Sento Onigashimasu. I don't think that benefit outweighs the benefit of everybody playing at the same time. I think a game should be refined with everybody's input and not just people who go to arcades. Honestly, whatever benefits there are to releasing a game in arcades and then later on console, I do not subscribe to them. I don't think that they are as real as everybody deserves the game at once. I really do. Can't wait to see Akuma in Tekken 8. I would be down. If he's a permanent guest character, I would have no problems with it. Also we would lose Super Akuma, right? Like, Super Akuma, what would he do? What is Super Akuma gonna do? Like, that's fucked up. The poor guy doesn't have a character. Honestly, after console release, the changes they made afterwards got worse and worse. Now, the thing is the changes were related to DLC. So I wouldn't say the changes got worse. I'd say the DLC made the game worse. Personally, is what I would view that as. But keep in mind also that the game would have been so refined before it came out on console anyways. The changes were already put in place. My argument would be that there are ways of playing the game that were favored compared to ways of playing the game that were unfavored. And if everybody had their input, that thing that was favored and that which was not favored would have been different. The things that were favored were the things that people that went to arcades could provide feedback on. So the way that they played was being favored. But if you release it in a worldwide audience, you're getting feedback from everybody and not just from one group or set of people, not one region that primarily will play the game a very particular way because that is how their scene has developed and continues to develop. The scene develops differently in other regions of the world, and you need that feedback in order to properly balance your fighting game and not, be any kind of accidental biasness or anything like that. Like, I feel like a larger pool of feedback is really necessary to create a fair and balanced competitive anything. And in this case, fighting game. The balance matches were pretty bad. It's true. I mean, it is true, but I don't think that's really the problem of it being on like an open world thing, like a whole world having access. I think that was just the conflict of DLC characters literally being pay to win and concepts of that nature, and the mechanics. They tried to add some mechanics. I mean, around season 2, there was like this level of power creep where they were trying to like make the game more interesting by making everything super strong. And I think that became the game's undoing at that point. They started messing with the balance, maybe inadvertently, by just introducing more powerful options that very clearly overrode the previous options that, just weren't as powerful. So you can avoid that if you have enough feedback, but you might not notice it if your feedback is generating from one group of people. You might not see it. That's why in game testing, they have a huge amount of play testers and they have a lot of hours, because they want to make sure that every aspect of the game is being encountered by the vastly different ways players interact with video games. Essentially, what I like to advocate for is that same principle. The more people playing the game provide more feedback on how those people like playing the game. That feedback, in turn, will create a better product if you listen to it. I'm not convinced really Harada is all that towards listening to a lot of Tekken feedback because Tekken fans are trash. I don't know. I mean, it's not just Harada, right? There's a lot of people doing the deed with Tekken. So, it's a hard thing to really like. I can't really get any evidence one way or the other. The only thing I could say is that balance patches, we can look back and say were bad because after season 2, it was all fucked up. But, season 1 and up till season 2, the patches were great. People didn't have a problem with that stuff. It wasn't until the power creep of the DLC, pay to win characters, until that was really the point that really fucked everything up, and people were really, really unhappy about that. So I think even with that being the case, I still think a worldwide release is just much better than like a focused arcade experience that then refines for however long. And then you have your competitive scene where everybody had the chance to equally play the game, equally. Everybody equally gets to play the game. If you have 2 years where arcades only get to play the game, well, arcades don't exist. They barely exist in the places they used to exist. So now it's like, that's fucked. You're really shifting, your champions are going to be the people that get to play it for an extra 2 years. And I've always felt like that 2-year difference in 7 made the gap and kept that gap way longer than if the game had released all at once. And I think with Tekken 8, this could be a good experiment to see, does competition improve with Tekken 8, with everybody getting hold of it, compared to what happened with 7, where there was a 2-year gap. I'm interested in seeing how people do in 8, tournament-wise, esports-wise, Granted, I mean, a lot's different since 7, but I think there could be a rough equivalency there anyways. Until Negan, exactly. Who are we going to get for Tekken 8 guest characters? Are we going to get Game of Thrones? We're going to get Game of Thrones, aren't we? We're going to get Wiz Khalifa from Game of Thrones and her dragons. I mean, now people actually have full-time jobs in esports. I guess that's true. That wasn't really a thing for Tekken in 7. You don't think there were sponsorships? I mean, I always felt like ever since Street Fighter 4, people had sponsorships, 4 really put that shit on the map. Was there anything else we wanted to look at? This was really cool, man. I'm really excited about this. I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. I'm so glad that we got something. This was such we got something so early, and we got something like that really showed quite a bit of the game itself. Like, granted, we still don't really see like health bars and shit, but I think we need more time before we can ever get to this type of trailer level, right? Yeah, they've been really open now with this game, because I think they're along the process like really, really well. I get the feeling Tekken 8 is still very deep in development. I get that feeling. There was, but not for the arcade release for 7. Well, I suppose. I mean, there were tournaments, though. But, I mean, at the same time, I don't know. I mean, there were tournaments. Remember, they would take the arcades and they would float them around the U.S. sometimes for U.S.-based tournaments. And we would do terribly because we had no idea how to play.